Hey everyone, welcome back to the the Peacemaker Podcast or DC Studios Podcast, also known as the Mike Twerking Podcast, off-camera podcast.
Jedi Mike Medea twerking.
He is on one every single time before. He's shaking his head. If you're actually watching him shake his head, he's thinking these are false accusations. No, they are not. Sir is a man of God who likes to shake his thing.
I have receipts this time.
How you doing, Mike?
Doing good. Better than I deserve. I was good. With the Dave Ramsey response.
How are you doing, Andy?
I'm doing good. I'm dealing with some big life changes coming up soon. So
Me too.
I had oh my god, you pregnant too?
I didn't say that. No. Accusations again.
Everyone's like, wait, Mike, what?
Right. I had to wait till the show was recorded. Vanessa's gonna lose her shit, bro.
I will literally fly. I would fly over there like with a basket full of things. Anyway, sorry, Andy, how you doing? Yes, you're going through. You got some life changes going on. Yes.
Yes. So there's a chance for our listeners and viewers watching that I might be gone later in September. We will see how things turn out, but hopefully not for too long. But otherwise, I'm good. Summer's finally. Like I could breathe again. I walked outside today, and there's air. There's air again. Like it's not like a freaking like sandstorm out there anymore. So, but yeah. Also, I'm loving the response to Peacemaker. Like I've been watching a lot of reactions, like on Twitter and Instagram stuff like that. It's like we're eating good this year as DC fans.
I agree. Finally. I'm also doing well.
Yes.
I woke up about half an hour before this from a long nap, and my daughter torturing me for 2 straight days. Potty.
We love you, Ivy. We love you, Ivy.
This is what I get for naming my child after a Gotham villain. Anyway, before we get into the Peacemaker,
Gotham anti-hero thing at this point, because I think Poison Ivy has become.
You can go either way, but yes, to be fair. Before we get into Peacemaker and like the overall reception of it being amazing, it's like gotten the highest so far, I believe, on Rotten Tomatoes. I know, give or take, Rotten Tomatoes can be hit or miss, but like of all the projects that I guess in the last 20 years that has been released, it is the Peacemaker season 2 is sitting at the highest with 95%, I think.
Yep.
It was 98 when I last checked, but it's been going up.
Whatever graphic I saw said 95. So regardless, it is the highest one at. No. Maybe it's 98. It might be 98, but it could also be. It is the highest one, which is great. Shout out to that, and I'm not surprised because I think this season of the 5 episodes we've seen has been incredible. But before we get into like actual Peacemaker, let's talk some DC Studios news. We were talking Superman saga. James Gunn is kind of teasing more, Superman films. The next film is not going to be a Superman 2, but it will be a next film in the Superman saga, which leads to a lot of people to guess it's going to be a Superman and Supergirl film after the Supergirl movie. What do you guys think about this?
Can I just say, first of all, holy fuck, we live in cursing is allowed for kids. And we live in a time now where we get to Superman saga is now entering the Hollywood mainstream era, because we know with MCU they always have a saga, whatever, but yeah, I'm excited again. I think that doing a Superman 2 it's not necessary. I think that again the character needs to be around in the DCU as much as possible. Because one of the problems that we're facing with interconnected universes, especially when you look at the MCU for the last 3 phases, is that they introduce all these new characters and then most of them have not even come back. Some of them are now going to be back for Avengers Doomsday, but some of them are not. We don't even know what's going. So I saw a quote about the Eternals the other day, and I'm like, "You're signing up for 6 movies and you haven't done shit in this." Yep. I'm like,
Johnny,
So I think Vanessa is correct. I think we're gonna get a Superman, Supergirl movie, and maybe we will finally get that Superman, Supergirl, Brainiac movie that Warner Bros. Has always been trying to do, which is there's a great animated movie called. It's not called Brainiac Unbound.
Superman Unbound.
Yeah, that's a great. It's based on Jeff Johns' work, and I think it's time we see in live action. So I think that's what's probably going to be, and then maybe we'll get Superboy. Because Lex has Superman's DNA, and The Kleck's baby will finally happen. Listen. Connor Kent is their love child, so that's my canon.
That's not their love child. Lex Luthor created a baby against Clark's will. Let's not romanticize.
You already cloned them once in this continuity.
For the record, I did quotations. So
anyway, what about you, Mike? About the Superman?
So I actually think they're gonna actually make a Steel movie. I actually think that'll be interesting, but going against the lore of like, well, we don't have to have him until Superman dies. We can just have him be another additional character, and hence you're expanding the Superman lore, but also you're still honoring also original Black characters, and giving their focal point. And now you have a more character tied to Superman. So seeing Superman, Supergirl, and Steel, Superboy, Natasha. It's rare where you actually see Connor and Kara at the same time, like in certain iterations. Either they're gonna pick one or the other, and if there is a Superboy, 9 times out of 10 is Jonathan Kent, their child. So not that I don't think that we ever will see that. It's just that I think it's too soon to do Superboy. If anything, do you want to add another addition to the Superman family? It should be Steel, in my opinion. And I think that's more. It makes more logical sense and makes more sense in the canon of what they have, where it's like, okay, well, we can add more different characters instead of adding another Superman clone after we just did one who's now in a black hole and stuff like that. So
plus Superman Lois did I gotta give a shout out to my buddy Wooly Parks who played Steel on Superman Lois. Yeah, they did a great introduction for there. Superman Lois made him cool again. Sorry,
right,
Jack, but like
always cool. Movie. I love Steel.
He was always cool.
Yeah. I really enjoy, and I actually think that because I think there's something there because of the unexpected popularity. I don't think the Warner Brothers expected Mr. Terrific to like be the breakout character of Superman. I could see them taking hopefully the right lessons from this and like fast tracking some of the more popular Black heroes like Virgil, Steel. Like there's some good Black superheroes that they're only ones that have ever held that mantle. Like I would appreciate that too, and especially because if we see John Henry Irons, that means we will see Natasha Irons, and she is one of my favorites. She's a queer Black woman who is a genius. Takes up after her. Yes, she's a lesbian. She's
oh wow, Superman Lois fumbled that because they like never even like.
Her name was Natalie. That was not Natasha Irons.
But it was like inspired by her.
I understand, but to be fair, that wasn't actually Natasha Irons. So I'm willing to forgive that because it wasn't Natasha Irons. So that's how I feel about Jenny Ognats and like excess on the Flash. I'm like, that wasn't actually like that
exactly right.
So I just forgive certain things. I'm like, that's not Jenny. But anyway, I think that's actually I feel like they're already making certain changes because of the unexpected the response to Superman. We're hearing more about the Superman saga, and like I just feel like because of the way Man of Steel was recepted last time, they pivoted so much because they were like, we can't use Superman to be the focal of this universe, and this is such a different vibe where they're like, Superman is our focus. Oh my god, people like Supergirl. Oh, let's do this. And like it's so nice to feel to see the appreciation for Superman again. It's been so long.
And then and then also you had Shaq also in a Superman promo when at the beginning of, so it's like you don't think that they are aware of the original Steel movie. It's like hey, we need to redo that.
I love Shaq.
So I think it's like the fact of like Shaq being there. It's just like you guys definitely talked about for sure. So
yeah. So we know that James is writing the script. Like the treatment is done, and he's writing it right now. So hopefully they start filming next year. Because so far right now for 2027 they only have one DC. Did one DC Studios movie line because they said it like their strategy they're going to try to do 2 live action movies a year. So we have the Batman 2 in October 2027. So hopefully the Super Family whatever film it's going to be called. I hope that will be where we get it because it seemed like James like is pretty fast at writing without it feeling rushed or whatever. So hopefully because we know Clayface is supposed to be filming right now, or it's like this. It's either this month or September. They're gonna start filming, and then it would make sense that the follow up to Superman is what they start filming next year, and then.
I'm so excited, you guys.
We're an era we're living in. like, and also we also have My Adventures Superman season 3 coming probably later this year. So like, this is like yes, we're eating.
No, because
does Ivy watch My Adventures Superman right away?
No, yeah. Ivy only watches Elmo. That's it. She'll come on nothing but Elmo.
Okay.
But like Andy, remember 2 years ago when we were recording this podcast and we went through like multiple rebrand because DC and HBO and Warner Bros. Didn't know what the fuck to do with this podcast. Like,
we were so mad in our DMs. I'm like, again.
What's going on? It feels like such a different reality, and it's only been 2 years, and we can expect to see the things we're like, oh, we're talking about this, and we can expect those things to actually happen. Like, it's not just someone talking out of their ass and like 3 people having different visions and different things going on. It's actually like one guy who's chronically online, shout out to James Gunn, who will tell us like, no, this isn't true, or yep, I'm working on this. Like, nope, Superman 2 is like, it's just so refreshing to know exactly where we're going after years and years of not knowing what the fuck is going on and having logos that never went anywhere, projects that never went anywhere, millions of dollars that go to directors that never did anything. It is really refreshing to feel like something is actually happening. Like, we've been getting negged for so long.
Yeah.
It's so nice. But speaking of the old universe and new universe, I know you guys mentioned before we start for Peacemaker, because this is about merging the 2 universes, Margot Robbie did comment about Harley Quinn. If you guys want to talk about that, I have no opinions on it. Because I do love her as Harley Quinn, but I just I'm not passionate about her as Harley Quinn. So yeah, Andy, did you want to talk about her, what she said?
I really hope, like, if there's like, again, I don't want too many people to come back from the DCEU. I feel like, like, if let's just, like, if we're gonna pick a handful, I think she needs to be one of them. Like, I think she's, like she's not playing Harley Quinn, she is Harley Quinn, and I really want to see her Harley finally get together with whoever's gonna be Ivy in the DCU. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long to see her. So I'm hoping that her like saying like, oh, I haven't been talked about anything, but then James Gunn is kind of like, people will find out eventually what we're doing with Harley. Then it's like, I'm hoping she's back. I think if if we're gonna pick any more people from the DCEU, it should be her.
Mike, rebuttal.
No.
Good point, Andy. I don't agree. I don't disagree with you, Mike. Rebuttal.
She's not coming back. No.
Yeah,
there's and not that I don't think she's like, she made peace with that character, and I feel she's made a stake as a positive iteration of Harley Quinn. Regardless, we could like certain movies better than the others compared to like that she's been in, but whatever those movies were, she was never the problem. And she made a stake that she is the first Harley Quinn, live action. This is in cinema. And then she made a stake, a positive, part of the comic book movie world. But I think for this new DC universe and for us going into this new iteration, we need a younger Harley Quinn. And I'm not opposed to the Ivy relationship at all. I'm just saying that it will not be with Margot Robbie. As she's
you calling Margot Robbie old?
I'm saying Harley Quinn needs to be younger than 35. I'm just saying.
Okay. Counterpoint to that.
Harley Quinn should not be older than Superman.
Because she looks so much older than David Cornsweet.
That's not about looks.
It's not about looks. You're putting words in my mouth.
I disagree that she shouldn't be older than Superman. Because Harley Quinn has if we want the Dr. Harleen Quinzel, she has to be an established psychiatrist before she goes to the Harley Quinn. Yeah. If she's a super genius or whatever, something like, she can have that career like 22, but that's not realistic. So I don't disagree. I disagree that she has to be like 23.
No,
but I feel like 3-year-old Harley Quinn, I can see that as well. Her age doesn't really matter to me. I think it's less about age. It's more about money. Margot Robbie is too expensive for the DC universe.
But this was what I'm making a point about, is that Barbie was one of the biggest hits for Warner Brothers of all time. Like, they know people can't like if they pay her what she needs, they know people will get in the seats.
Margot Robbie in the DCU.
It's the same thing with ScarJo. Ain't happening. It's not gonna happen. She's too expensive.
Margot Robbie in DCU, maybe as a director, but also as another character.
That I can see.
That absolutely. Warner Brothers, Margot Robbie is money.
I can see her producing a project. I can see her doing that.
Exactly.
I don't see her coming back to Harley Quinn without a lot of money on the table and like a full movie. Like, she would probably want way more for Harley than James is willing to give in this stage of the universe.
And regardless whether you want to admit or not, she's just that iteration of Harley Quinn is too attached to Jared Leto as Joker.
I agree. I think it's
just like it's almost like let's bring Henry Cavill back, but we have a new Lois Lane. The chemistry might be better, but it still just wouldn't like that was that version. This is our new version. It just like it is what it is. And and it's not, again, no disrespect to her. I think again she, especially now, I think we're more in a better position to get Harley in a more full, area and everything, and not no pushback from the studio. Even though she was producer for the Emancipation, Birds of Prey film, whatever, it still was pullback, because it's like, oh yeah, well, we were gonna put Penguin in this, and it's like, oh no, because we were trying to do that with the Matt Reeves stuff, and it's like, no, now we can have a clear vision, and fully see whatever this new iteration of Joker when he comes in, and then have her own full arc. And everything, and especially I do believe an Ivy and Harley relationship in this universe is was going to thrive better than the previous one. So if that idea ever came across in their mind, which I doubt it, because they had no vision.
I just want Gotham City Sirens at this point. Like,
I think you're in a position now to have it.
Like, I kind of want to just skip Harley and Joker like in this universe altogether. Yeah, okay, she's moved on from Joker, whatever, and then she's either doing the Sirens or she's doing whatever she is doing, because like I don't know, like every time I see an animated show now like that has like Harley Quinn and Joker together, I'm just like, why am I so like exhausted by this? Like I'm just genuinely wiped, and like also it is disgusting when you look at the deeper aspects of the relationship. And so this one, like again, I can understand what you guys are saying when it comes to like maybe not getting Margot back. Again, I think when she and James clearly had a good relationship, we're gonna get on the Suicide Squad. It's so weird saying.
That's not final, but reality is she's expensive, and I think we can I want fans to set their expectations low. I don't think we're getting Margot back in.
I'm not saying there's high expectations, but I'm hoping she comes back in some ways.
So let's talk about Peacemaker, since we are almost 20 minutes in now. I want to talk about Peacemaker. This episode 2. After episode 1, we know that he literally, everyone knows now, he killed himself. Yeah. Episode 2 literally starts with him like hiding the body in obviously humorous fashion. Adrian helped him chop it up. What did you guys think of this episode compared to the first episode? What did you think about it overall, Mike?
I think again the interesting part is of this new world, this new reality they're doing. It's like, okay, now he has to cover up his tracks. Like, he basically killed his alternate version, and now letting Vigilante in all of this is kind of getting that more sense of like, hey, this is what just happened, and him more, let himself in. But even then, just the ounce of time he was in that new world is still have a linger effect on him. But just like look at how green this grass is on this side. And everything, and then as situations here in his reality is just getting worse, and now on top of that is now he has evidence of his body that's himself in a different universe. I think again we're pushing the plot of him making the move of like, okay, whether he wants to be in this reality or even though we see in the trailers and stuff like that, but again, it's also just showing that even though situations might arise to him as a character, there's still people that still depend on him. And the fact that Vigilante is there trying to help him with this crazy situation is showing that, hey, I'm here for you, bro. In much as how crazy this might and fucked up this might be, it is what it is. But I will say, I hope how this season is going to end, I hope he actually takes that costume and the jetpack and all stuff like that, and actually, because this is like,
I do like the new costume.
I like that quick fight scene we got at the end, and just like, oh, you can take those helmets, and do all that and everything, and stuff, and just so way that whenever you see him interacting with other heroes, he can kind of stand on his own and not just, he can fly, he can do other stuff. It's just, I thought that was cool. But anyway.
Yeah. What about you, Andy?
After we recorded episode 1 and you made this point about him killing himself, like killing his kind of like higher ego, like I went back to watch episode 2, and like I now I was actually appreciated way more because of what you said, because I'm like, yeah, now like he's in a very complicated situation of not just like externally of like, oh, I have to get rid of this body, but like what is this going to do to his psyche now of like, I just did that to myself. So, and of course, it was humorous, kind of like like the alternate version just kept rolling out and over and over, and I'm like, I wonder how many takes they had to do of this scene. And then, of course, Adrian is just ready with a little toolbox because I'm like, because at first I thought like they're gonna dismantle all the doors and stuff like that. So no, but I'm like, no, we're just gonna get it very, very morbid. And I know that Adrian is just kind of like very like, okay, cool. Like they like very little phases him. So that's that's kind of humorous to me. So yeah, I mean we will see how the consequences play out for Christopher later in the season. But what did you think, Vanessa? What did you think about the the solution, so to speak?
This episode was fun. I thought it was a good episode overall, but like that I hate gore. I hate it. I hate the cut. I was like, oh, this is so gross. And then they threw his face, and like they really drove the point home. They're like, he is dead. There's no coming back for this guy. He's gone. And so like obviously this is gonna have insane consequences because at some point his family's gonna notice this. He's gone. What is Chris gonna do? He's just so stupid. Chris makes his dumbest decisions and doesn't think about it. But like at least he has his friends to like back him up. And like Adrian is such an interesting character that I need to talk about because his obsession with Chris and like his like the fact that he gets so possessive of like his friendship with him and like it's like we're best friends, right? We're best friends. I miss you guys. What are we doing? And like just crosses so many boundaries because he like loves his friend so much. It's like in real life, if I ever had a friend like Adrian, I would be very unsettled. He's a little bit creepy. Like he's a little bit creepy. Just a little bit creepy. But I feel for him because like I think he's obviously something's like he's messed up in the head. But like he literally was like, I don't like sex. I only do it to bond with my best friend. Like I'm like, who says that? Like that is like I'm like, is he asexual? Is he in love with Chris, like platonically? I'm so confused. Like it's so interesting to figure out what Adrian's whole thing is about.
No, you said it. He's asexual. He said it in an interview. I read an interview today on Hollywood Reporter.
Asexual. Yeah. Okay, so that like makes a lot of sense because I'm like, this guy, I find him interesting to watch, like because I'm so curious about his whole, especially because how sexual Chris is in general. Like they make a big point about how Chris is a very sexual person. He's very proud of his sexuality, and like they do make jokes, a lot of jokes based on that. And like Adrian is just like I guess not the opposite, but like as the only engages with it because his friend's into it. So I think that that's an interesting like relationship that I don't think we've ever seen before especially between two guys. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, Andy.
No, I mean I because it was funny because I remember last year I was talking to someone who he's on the he has Asperger's like me, and we were talking about like we were watching Peacemaker season 1 again, and we were kind of going like, is he supposed to be like autistic coded or something like that? I'm like, I don't know, I'm not sure, like because he's like, he's obviously like, into gore and like the violence or whatever and so on, but like in terms of like his social cues, it's kind of like we couldn't figure it out. But then like, in this episode, like and then after reading this interview that like literally I just read a few hours ago, I'm like, asexual. That makes more sense. So the thing is, like, with DC media, like especially with men, like usually they like to mostly portray like bisexual men in DC media because they're like, we can't go too far into gay men in DC. I know like on Legends of Tomorrow they introduced like an asexual character briefly, but here with like this is sort of complete opposite spectrum with this. So it's always funny like watching like through Adrian's point of view, like even him just like even at the party in the episode, like he's like trying like, no, you don't throw bottles until he actually catches it, like you just give it over. So I love that Adrian is a little like socially lost, so to speak.
Yes. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, this kind of goes with one of my negatives with this entire season, at least what I've seen so far, because I thought there was a very interesting part of Adrian in the first season, that how crazy that he actually is. Again, he's a murderer. He's but yet at the same time he's very embracive with wanting to belong and have friendship. And I think that has not been honed on even with the episodes I've seen. But with here, it's just kind of like the randomness of it, where no one's asking like, hey, why do you do what you do? Like, how did you become a vigilante? I mean, I know the comic origin and everything like that, but this iteration is completely, new and everything. And I just wanted, and because the actor, I believe he plays that character very well. I want to see more full reign of him instead of just like, oh, if let's say one character leaves, do you feel sad? Why? Do you have abandonment issues? Who? Like what aspect of that have you? That root cause of that character makes you. We understand why you do the things you do. So that when some social cues seem lacking to to people and to the rest of those characters for the audience, we know where that's coming from. So I just felt like I wanted to see more of that, and I didn't get that. But yeah,
I feel you. I think like that. I think Adrian is going to be. I think because he's a side character, just like ads, and like we're not going to get as much dive into them as we want to. At least not in the first 5 episodes. Like I feel like there is more that we should know about Adrian that we're not going to get, or maybe we will get at the end of the season, or I don't know. But I feel like there's some stuff, some background stuff I would like to know about him. Like, but I feel like he does a lot of stuff because he misses the home base that the guys that all of them had last year, and they don't have that home base anymore, which leads me to my next point. The like get together that they got, like all the 11th Street kids get together and just like hang out. They're both throwing beers, but like this is another conversation yet again, another contentious conversation between Harcourt and
Chris,
where she's basically like, we're too fucked up. Like, you're more fucked up than me. And this is too, I don't want this. No. And like, you can get that sense of like regret she had from like their night together. So I think that's interesting. Obviously keeps sending him into every time he has a conversation with her about their love life or what lack thereof, it sends him into a very bad spiral. So I'm curious about your guys' thoughts about the 11th Street kids getting together, and specifically Harcourt and Chris's not romance driving the main plot. Andy?
I mean, first of all, I always love when the whole cast comes together, because especially like it's like even like when again it's very small. It's it's very like like, but again, just seeing like someone like, for example, like John and ads, just again, I love their chemistry so much together. Like I love that they're like such besties, and like, so it's always fun, like when you're like when she's like, well, just get out of it. Like if you don't like your job, just get out of it. And I'm like, a part of me is going like, that's the economy. But yeah, with Harcourt and Chris, I like that, like that, even though they're both so fucked up, I love that she's at least the one who is like self-aware of like, Chris is self-aware and Chris does not, like, they don't exist together. She gets it. So like, I appreciate it. There's at least there's that aspect. I mean, again, personally, I rather see Peacemaker with a guy, because again, the moment they say that he's bisexual, I'm like, I have so many ideas for messy dramas. But the thing is, when it comes to like push, like long drawn romances or whatever, like I guess, and like I watched a CW for like most of my life from 2006 and forward, so like I'm used to this nonsense. So I'm always like, okay, we'll live one day. Okay, we'll get there eventually. But yeah, it's I think this was the episode when I realized, oh my God, I really missed this. I really missed this cast being together for all these years, which is why I'm like, I hate the streaming era that we're like, let's wait, you get a renewal, but we will see you in 3 years. So yeah, but like it's again, this season feels again like if we just remove some of the nonsensical humor from this season and it is just a straight up drama, like this could be some of DC's best stuff. Like, because they're like, again, on the outside they appear to be like, like they're goofy and fucking up and so on. But it's like, no, but there's deeper layers to that we don't understand. So
yeah. What about you, Mike?
So I think again it goes to Harcourt and her close offness, that I felt. And you guys have been, through your relationship history, whatever. We've dealt with people like that, once in a while. But yeah, you definitely feel there's a connection there that's that's there, and then they're being in denial that it doesn't exist. It definitely is there. But I hope down the line, that they can at least address it, even at the moment, like, oh, well, maybe we tried, but no, this is not going to work out, because I don't like the continuous trope of just like, leading leading guy and leading girl get together, are destined to be with each other and stuff like that. And I feel like, we can actually appreciate a relationship or a friendship that is platonic, but still explore that, hey, we're around each other, we're working together, and that relationship, dynamic could exist, that we tried it, but at the end of the day, like, no, we're family, but, we don't have to be in love, romantically involved with each other.
And benefits.
Yep. But
that's possible.
In this universe, everything's off the table. I'm just saying, just like it's
or on the table, depending on what they want to
do. Yeah. So it's just, but again, I know you're basically sleeping with the boss's wife, metaphorically, and I don't think he's gonna allow that to happen. That just, but anyway. Yeah, because I think that was interesting. Like, what? Hey, you actually have the storyline. How you feel about it? You're writing the damn thing. So, but yeah, but I felt like, at least I'm glad that they addressed that, even in that setting of your friends, you have a beer and you guys are talking and stuff like that, and we haven't talked in a while, and something apparently happened in their past, that something happened and it's like, and they didn't want to address it. So. We don't know what that is. We don't know. So I guess we'll find out. But
yeah. I want to talk about Economos's new work teammate. So Andy mentioned earlier that if some of the silly humor got removed and this be a straight drama, like I think the show just wouldn't be Peacemaker if they took out the humor. But I will say that I think some of the humor that they've added into the show really should not have, I think could have been left off. I do not feel as strongly about Tim Meadows' Agent Fleury as some of my cohorts, but I do agree that some of his lines, like I think he came in screaming hilarious, oh, we got this new clearly misogynist asshole character who bounces off of Economos really well. I thought Tim Meadows is great. He's a funny dude, whatever. Yeah. But I will say the rate at which he beats a joke into the ground like a dead horse is impressive over the course of the 3 episodes that he is in. It even happens in this episode. It's just like over and over. And like, I thought at first I was like, oh, it's just like the bird blindness thing. I was like, this is just like a thing that they're going to mention like once. But they mention it almost every time this man is on screen. It's like this big thing. And I think I said this before in a different conversation about Peacemaker. This plus another new character, which we will talk about. What we talked about in our main Eagle Hunter or Red Saint Wild. The bird blindness thing and Red Saint Wild genuinely feel like things that were just written in because Eagly is a side character. And it's crazy to me that the Eagle is getting more of like a storyline arc than like 2 of our main human characters. So that to me is insane. And like that, yeah. So I'm being pragmatic because I don't have as strong of feelings, and I know Mike has very strong feelings. So I'm gonna let Andy go first and let Mike go last.
What do I? Okay.
I want Mike to just say what
I don't like. I don't like. I love Tim Meadows. This character is fucking annoying. He's terrible, and like I just like I read why couldn't they didn't need to have added him in there this season? They could have this is where Sasha could have been more used. We could have had more scenes with Sasha. Why are we?
Clark it.
I don't get 350, 3450. I don't get why he needs to be here. Like, I'm because again, listen, I live in a world where like misogynistic, racist, homophobic shit is like said to me and around me all the time. Like, I'm like okay, I get it. It exists. Does it need to be here? No, not really. Like I feel like I think the blurred blindness is like the only thing that I find hilarious. Where I'm like, okay, like this is genuinely funny because like they can go in so many directions with that. But otherwise, I'm like, I do not like this character at all. Like we could have had more with Sasha. We could do more with things even with Rick Flag, or even again, like Vanessa said, our established main series regulars that like. because I love Eagly, but like a CGI character should not be getting this much spotlight as opposed to like fucking Daniel Brooks. Like, come on, like. So yeah, 10 minutes. Like, it is when like as I'm rewatching the episode, I'm just like, there was one point like I was watching episode 4, just the other day, and like I muted as soon as he started talking. I'm just I don't know. Like people are gonna say, "Oh, you're so sensitive, Andy." I'm just like, tell me what the point of him is. Tell me what purpose this character serves. Again, I love seeing him getting the fucking shit beat out of him from Eagly, but I'm like, tell me what purpose he has in this season. Mike, your turn.
Bird blindness. Fucking bird blindness is by far the dumbest thing that has been written this year in any piece of content of 2025. And this character is a fucking disgrace. But but I'm glad that this character that's saving grace because you have another character that's equally, if not more, disgraceful.
Yeah.
First off, I love Tim Meadows. In San Diego Comic-Con, they're talking about his audition process, how they try to go over a bunch of guys to play this character. And it's like, then I saw Tim and I was like, oh yeah, let's have Tim, be this character. The fact that you put that much effort into this character, I feel again, it's a waste, is filler. And honestly, what is one of the main reasons of taking me out of this show, because when I said this show in my overall season review, that there's an imbalance in terms of comedy, because yes, you can say, well, these what these characters are. And then I'm not discounting that. But what in this season 2, what you have here is like, okay, we have the 11th Street Kids, and now let's add 5 other characters who are idiots, and that's where I think that's showing imbalance, where you can create enough situational humor with the characters that we already have, and yet spend more time with them, allowing this situational humor to expand on other dramatic points and everything. To these characters like Economos, like Adebayo, like those characters you want to expand more on, but yet the team dynamic and that chemistry is what made season 1 so great. And yet we still have the Argus plot. You can have other characters, try to come in, but that's what Rick Flag Sr. is for. And so when you have another other character under him that's adding more other screen time and just for the sake of comedy, when you have an actual comic book character who has history with Project Checkmate and other things, and you can have that character be that person that's adding that dynamic of pushing Argus and being the right hand person or woman to Rick Flag Sr. and as your Argus plot. But now you have another character on top of that who's simply there for filler and just for jokes to add with Economos and everything. Literally, that guy catch all the Pokemon. You see, it's like while you were getting Pokemon at lunch at the playground, I had 2 bitches sitting on my dick. Like, really? Who are they?
Why don't you dare? Oh my God!
Peppermint Twins, 1985.
Not that.
Come on. Like, see, and you see how my delivery on it. See, that's why I love Tim Meadows. I can do that type of humor, but I just know, again, what is the key with humor and comedy? Timing. And this show, it has none. And just like, hey, compound chicken, you over there. Titties, oh, you stay with me. Like, it's just like, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. And it's like, you motherfuckers are getting your ass kicked by a fucking endangered species. It's just like, like by one, not a whole gang of them, just one, and then this motherfucker allowing this just to slow walk on your ass.
I'm sorry. We have to clip this for the promo for this episode. This is the part.
I was about to be like, am I gonna have to edit this shit out? I'm like, never mind.
This is it. This is the best part.
I want to add something.
Wait, did I say a spoiler or what? Or like?
No, your rant
because we do the short reels. We do the short reels.
Yeah,
so Raya have fun with this one. But I wanted to add to this is that to Jedi Mike's point, hold on, because I'm going to be just as blind as Tim Meadows' character. Sith Mike's point, and Vanessa Dolphin, because now I'm blind with fishes and Star Wars. And let's go back to season 1 for a second. Like we had Peacemaker's father is like one of the most insulting characters of all time. Again, like he drops the F slur around, like he's racist and everything. But there's a building point that he is supposed to be the villain that we're building up against and to take down. Like, but with Tim Meadows, it's like he's there just to say offensive shit, and it's like, okay, if he gets killed off, like it's probably gonna be collateral damage. So, like with Augie at least, sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Sorry, finish your thought.
Yeah. With Augie, at least like yes, we're making him offensive because you are supposed to hate him. But with Tim Meadows, it just feels like it's just one character too much. When like again, we have Rick Flag, we have Sasha Bordeaux. Why can't we just focus on them? If we're gonna have new blood coming into the season, why can't we focus more on them? So go ahead, Vanessa.
No, 2 points. I think two things to address both of your guys' point. Number one, I've noticed that Chris is like way softer, more introspective, a lot more like deeper and like. So I think because he feels different from season 1 because he's been through some shit and he's not cracking those jokes. There are more people cracking those jokes about him, but he's not cracking those jokes as much as he was in season 1, which I think is why they've added more characters to make those offensive jokes, because he's not, our main character is like, it's like they're afraid that they're going to lose some of their audience if they lose some of those dumb jokes. So they introduce those type of jokes to like any character to have those type of jokes. My thing is, it would have been funnier to have those jokes still in there, but have Sasha Bordeaux making them somehow. If they were just gotten rid of Fleury and just had this tiny Latina cyborg lady, whatever, just making the most insane misogynistic jokes, regardless, that would have been funnier to me. That would have been funnier to me to have a woman making those
hardcore too, where her toxic masculinity is
that would have been so funny to me to have Sasha making those dumb jokes. Like, obviously, they would have had to adjust some of them, but it would have been so funny to have those jokes coming out of a tiny woman like her who is lethal as fuck. That would have been funnier to me. That would have been funnier to me. It just, they like added him just to add him, and he's obviously probably going to die at some point. Like, I just for what? And so, like, yes, I agree with you. I completely am agree with my host here. I don't know. I think they just didn't trust the audience to mature along with Peacemaker, and so they just needed to add some like dumb jokes in here. So that's my theory. I obviously don't know this for sure, but that's my theory.
No, I think listen, they need the Dean Cains of the world to still watch the show, and I.
Did you see a video of him rolling through a fucking tunnel or whatever, trying to get through over a fence? That is the height. The peak of masculinity right there, of American masculinity. If you want to be a real man, you got to struggle to get over a fence. God damn it. That is your right as a man. Anyway.
But I agree with Vanessa. I agree with Vanessa. Like, Sasha filling that role would have been way more fitting. Because the thing is, like, when you have a show on, like Netflix or HBO or whatever, so, usually, the airtime, because right now we're not, we don't have to deal with the CW problem where like we can only have 41 minutes. So that's why like we can't have various, this many characters or this many stuff going on. But with a streaming show, like you would think that, okay, like if we're going to have this many characters involved and this many stories involved, we're going to get up to like the 52, 55, 60-minute mark. But again, it's like, they're squeezing him in there, and I'm just like, but I don't want to know. Like, I don't want to know anything about this bitch. I want to know about these other characters that they're bringing in, and yeah, like so, like it will be. I mean, it's gonna be funny as fuck if a duck actually is the one that kills him this season. Like, I will lose my marbles. I'm like, okay, you know what? That will be funny. But otherwise, I'm like, every time now he talked, I'm like, I like Tim Meadows. He's a great actor. Horrible character, and the fact that he's like, oh, we had so many people coming and trying for it. I'm like, they dodged a bullet.
Yeah. So before we wrap it up with what Chris does at the end, I want to talk about Ads a little bit and her ex. She doesn't think they're broken up. But
she's so delusional. She's the Lulu, as the Gen Z kid says.
I absolutely hate that. Like, out of bio, the big thing about her, like she has naiveness in season 1, but it was also her naiveness to like the point that she's Amanda Waller's daughter, and it's the complete opposite, where she's kinder and more attuned to people how they feel. But then by doing that, you basically do something in this season where it's like she had a relationship problem, and then by her being the one tied to her emotions, she's not actually acknowledging that her partner, who is not technically, they're not divorced, it's just separated, but still you're not respecting her boundaries, which that I would expect that from another character, not from you. So it's just like, it just seems out of character, even regardless whether you guys have a rough patch in your life, because even though that was established in season 1, but that was tied to the job, the career, which, again, that, that affects a lot of people in marriages and everything. So it's like, to have that and to her just show up, just like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Like, we separated, right? Yeah, going to Gotham. What are you doing? Like, like where you guys going to Gotham City? Man, who's there for you? Yeah, right. It just, so I don't know. And I thought that I'm not liking the writing of Adebayo in this season. I'm just really not. It just, again, they had a very great opportunity to set her up to be, to have what she did in season 1, which everything that led to season 1 to the finale of her outing her mother was justified, and to have that, not having Viola Davis, at least with the episodes we have seen here, I just feel like her arc is in a different show that we're not going to get in this season. And I think that, by byproduct, her character suffers. So, and I think that's a shame, that her being the Academy Award nominated actress now. It just, yeah. I'm not enjoying the Black people writing on this show at all. Not this season. Mm-mm.
Fair enough. Any thoughts on that, Andy?
I mean, I can only agree with him. I think he said everything that needs to be said there. Like, again, like, I mean, Daniel Brooks was one of the second reasons I decided to watch Peacemaker into beginner. Like, the first one was John Cena, because he's hot, and secondly, because I loved her on Orange Is the New Black and other things I've seen her in. And I'm like, and like, again, because like, imagine when we get the Waller show, and then one, like, the 360 of like how, like, all the grace that we're gonna get with her and her mom, like, together. Like, because again, like, fuck it, like, I'm gonna say it, Adebayo could be the reason we get Checkmate in this universe. She's like, if she's wanted to found this like private thing or whatever and so on, like, fuck, like, and I don't know, like, I know of Checkmate in the comic, but I don't know like the full orders of it. But like, listen, like, Adebayo could, like, if you have Daniel Brooks in the DCU, use her and do great things with her. And again, from the first 5 episodes, I'm very like torn on what they're doing with her. This could change for 6, 7, and 8. It's possible. It's very possible. So I'm gonna leave optimism there and hoping that there will be something very juicy for to talk about when we get to 6, 7, and 8. But yeah, I think Mike, he hit the nail on the point right there.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point about Checkmate, because considering that historically Sasha has been a part of Checkmate, Maxwell Lord was also a part of Checkmate at one point, and those two, like, and there's a lot of Checkmate characters in the season of Peacemaker too. So, and Leota's trying to start a security firm.
Exactly. Come on, damn it! Like, shit. Like,
we have not seen like this could be something that they're leading into for, like, at the end of the season. Like, we don't know. The fact that they have the building blocks for Checkmate in this, they didn't just think. I genuinely do not believe that James included Sasha Bordeaux for no reason.
There's going to be more things with it, absolutely. I think.
Listen, I agree. I'm just saying, I want to see the full picture of all this.
I think that
3 episodes can save all this shit. I'll be the first one to say it.
We're used to being disappointed, but I do think this is because, like, we do have a lot of like Checkmate building blocks in this season randomly. I do think that we might be seeing that, and that is a huge thing, because that leads into OMAC, which is like an insane DC storyline, and I can see, because of the rise of AI and all that,
exactly.
I can see wanting to do OMAC. Brother Eye, the like Palantir, like, is an actual real thing of like how much data is being collected on American citizens right now. That could be a great Brother Eye like storyline. Like, there are some really cool things that we can do. So I see that.
I wanted to make 2 points about that, because this was acted, because do you remember that George Miller was going to try? He was initially going to do a Justice League movie back in 2007, like with DJ Control, the OMAC, Maxwell Lord, all of that. Like, they've been wanting to do that since 2007. Yeah. So like the thing is, because like, maybe you can correct me about this, Vanessa, because like I noticed that when I jumped into the New 52. There was so much emphasis on Argus. Like, it was almost like DC didn't even want to acknowledge Checkmate anymore. So I'm like, I'm hoping that like at this point, DC is kind of like, okay, we're like, because I'm getting Argus out. Like the Arrowverse like drove me insane of like the lack of consistency in the Argus organization, and I'm tired about it in the DCU and the DCU. So I'm like, I'm hoping that this is like DC's time to like go back to Checkmate. I don't know if does Checkmate have even a role right now in the comics, or are they still kind of like?
Yeah, it was a Leviathan series a few years ago. This was like 2020, I think. It was a minor series called Leviathan where Checkmate was the focus. Checkmate has been de-emphasized over the years, but it's still kind of around when they needed to be. But because I think they want to consolidate one like secret government agency because they kind of have a lot, and so like I think they just wanted to focus on one of them. But I can see because they've focused so much on Argus in like recent years, them like kind of making because Checkmate's more. Checkmate is was in some iterations like a branch off of Amanda Waller's Task Force. It's like a different like thing. It's its own secret thing. So I can see that being like a secret branch within Argus. We've seen things in this season that kind of point to like there already being some cracks in Argus's like inner thing. But I think that's because like, you know, just Frank Sr. is like, or Frank Sr. Frank Sr. Better acronym name.
No, we all of us have been doing that tonight.
Kind of doing shady shit, you know. So yeah, I think that like, well, we didn't mention this, but like he knows that like Peacemaker killed his son, and that he was reviewing the case files from earlier. So he's making decisions based on that are already like, you wouldn't do that if you weren't so personally invested, would you? Like he's diverting government resources to like spy on this one guy because he killed his son, which I'm not saying like no one would do. I'm just saying like that's
this is a personal case for him. Like his emotions is what's driving. It's not the safety of the world or America. It's his own anger that's driving him.
Yeah, he's using exactly. And I think that's something that's interesting and we could see that spiraling into a different type of like Checkmate type situation. I don't know. I'm curious about that too. But
James, she's giving a very good pitch here for free.
Hire me. I'm a good writer. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh my god. I would love as a journalist to interview you and like see like how do I get her to crack spoilers? But like Checkmate, like listen, like this is like again with so many characters, again, this is what you could really, what if this is how we get Emmanuel back on top? But it's gonna be ironically through her daughter. Adebayo's like, you know, like, Mom, like you fucked up, but you're my mother. I know that you want the world safe. I have an opportunity, but if I'm gonna let you be part of it, we're doing this my way. So that way, it becomes Amanda's redemption in a lot of ways. And because also, holy fuck, I want to see more Viola Davis and Daniel Brooks together. Holy fucking Christ! Like it's driving me insane. Oh, how little we get to see them together. Anyway, what's the next point, Vanessa?
So last we'll wrap up. I don't know where Mike went, but hopefully he'll tap back in when we're about to wrap up. But like Chris, after this whole thing with Hardcore, there he is. With Hardcore, he goes back to the other side. He was trying to text him like Amelia. I'm calling her Amelia. I'm calling other Amelia, and I'm calling our Hardcore. So like just to make it easier, Hardcore is our Hardcore. Amelia is the other side's. So he texts Amelia. And when he goes back to the other side, it goes through and she like responds. So that's how the episode ends.
No multiverse reception over there.
Yeah. Right. So I was like, I'm curious about like, he didn't go through until he went over. So I get that. I guess there's no cross-dimensional texting. But I think this is what pushed him finally to this, because he killed the other guy and now he's like, all right, I guess I'll just take over his life and like steal his girl. He found out that like Amelia is dating a jarhead, but they were previously together, saw those photos. So like he knows he already was successful. Some version of him was already successful with that Amelia. So he's just like, fuck this woman, I'm gonna try with this one. Like he's still trying to go after his happy ending no matter what. So what do we think about that before we wrap up?
Escapism it's never going to work. And it's only gonna cause more problems instead of just accepting reality. I think the overall message of the season, again, even regardless what they say about the grass is green on their side, is just more, make the best of what you have, right? And realize what you have is actually important. And it's not perfect, but it's what you need. The people around you, the people that are supporting you, even regardless you still have to take accountability for the actions you've done, i.e., killing, Rick Flag Jr. And with those ramifications, what that do, but also, the transgressions that he has, he has evolved. He's not the same person who was in the Suicide Squad. So I think that it's coming to terms of him, his point of his character. But again, I think he's going to go to basically drinking the Kool-Aids, and he realized, oh wait, there's something off with this. It's not all perfect as it might seem. So it might look good now, but I think it's going to be a catch to it.
Yeah. What about you, Andy?
No, I mean, I feel similar. I mean, episode 3 is like, again, it's one of our favorite episodes of the season. Yep. So like, it's
very excited.
I'm just saying, telling fans, get ready. It's gonna be. There's a lot to look forward to next week, to say the least. And I don't know. Again, I was like, when he was trying to text her, it was funny because I'm like, if this would have worked, then I'm like. But the moment it was like not delivered, I'm like, oh, thank you, James. Thank you for being self-aware. Like, there's no way that reception would reach all the way over here in the Earth DCU. So, shit. I just want to talk about episode 3 already, but I can't. So,
I know. Yeah.
But very good. Episode two, very, very good. Very, very good. But fuck Tim Meadows' character.
Yeah, I think the first 3 episodes are so good. Like, I'm excited to talk about episode 3 and like talk about Amelia and more of like his family. It's a good episode, so we'll just leave you guys on that. Any last thoughts on this episode, guys?
I think we said everything needs to say.
Bird blindness is the dumbest thing written in 2025.
Yeah,
there's no if.
Probably the funniest episode I think we've recorded in a while.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate bird blindness gave you that blessing on a Sunday.
Yes. I cannot wait to play this one back. All right. Before
I'm gonna do the same thing as soon as we're done. I'm exporting.
I'm literally gonna go back and watch it. I was laughing so much. You were insane. But your points are great. I just think
We're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you.
Yeah,
we're laughing with
you. You're incredible. No, it's great. I cannot wait to I'm not even joking. I want Maria to clip that piece. Anyway, before multiverseofcolor.com for all of our coverage. Obviously, Peacemaker Podcast will be on there. The Supergirl Podcast is still kicking and grinding, doing comic reviews. So shout out to them over there. We'll be doing we're all doing coverage and assorted coverage or whatever. So check it out on multiverseofcolor.com. Before we go, where can our listeners and watchers find you at Jedi Mike 7?
Oh yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and everything at Jedi Mike 7. Brought to you by Solo Media. Next week. Yeah, I'll be going to Canada, TIFF 2025. So yeah,
so excited for you.
Yeah, and I'll be expanding my journalistic career and everything. Also, I forgot to mention, I got another Critic Association this weekend, HCA. So, yeah,
nice.
Right. Well, yeah, under 30. Let's go. All right. Let me know. Give me.
He's growing up. Our baby boy growing up.
I know. But I'm still working on my imposter syndrome. It's getting better. But aside from that, you guys can find me everywhere at Jedi Mike 7. I can give you more comedy in there and everything. I mean, people say I have it.
I just want more Medea. I just want more Medea impressions. So.
I'm gonna expand more on my TikTok. Just stay tuned.
Okay.
Yes. All right, Andy. Where can our listeners, watchers, and viewers find you?
They can find me at Anderbite on all social media. Trust me, someone was pointing like, did you forget to take out Mangione? Like Mangione, like for people who know me, like if you know, you know. But like my actual name is of course Anderbite on all social media platforms. You can find me at Screen Rant, covering all the latest news and entertainment, TV and film. And I run Multiverse of Color with all these amazing people that you see on the screen. That are, we were talking about Rhea, who's been like kicking so much ass at all these shorts, so massive love to her and all of our amazing people who write and bring out content from various rare unique perspectives. So check that out. And Showrunner was Prime to be determined. And you can always find me here on the Studios Podcast with my crew. What about you, Vanessa Bird? Where can you find you? Where can I find you? Or Vanessa Dolphin? Or Vanessa Nemo?
Andy has shark blindness, unfortunately.
Andy has animal blindness, clearly.
Diagnosis. I'm so sorry, you guys. You can find me at Vanessa Shark on everything. I have an interview I'm uploading this week with Bill Campbell, who is the publisher of Resilient Publishing, and also did the Avengers Blind Man. It's a really interesting interview that we kind of got into like a lot of deep stuff, like capitalism, what white publishers do not go through versus black publishers. He calls Superman a crypto fascist, which was hilarious. Such a fun interview. So yeah, that'll be up on Multiversal Colors YouTube and site this week. And I will also be interviewing another writer hopefully soon. I'm excited. So yeah, if you're a writer or comic book artist and you want to talk to me, hit me up at Vanessa Shark in my DMs or email me if you have my email. I'm not sending that. I'm not putting it here on podcast.
You can email at multiversalcolor@gmail.com and she will respond from there.
Exactly. Listen to that email. I forgot we have our corporate email. All right, y'all. It was great talking to you, and we will see you next time for our favorite episode of the 5 we've watched.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until next time, stay out of the orgies, fam.